Hi everyone, welcome to week number 5. This is your midterm essay week, and I'm shooting a video on the sun terrace of the Doubletree Hotel in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. I'm here for a conference. This has been a little bit of a crazy quarter. In Ghana for a week, and then in Wisconsin for a week. I was supposed to be in Paris for a week of this quarter, and then also we'll be in Jackson Hole, permitted I don't get COVID this week at this conference, which I'm hoping that I don't do. Really, your successful week is to write your midterm essay this week. And basically, I want you to be comfortable with this essay. I want you to take care of all the grammar and those kinds of things are really important. You have time, you have a week. I would like it to be well written. The prompts are there. I wanted to just say a couple of things. I've added a document into this week's module in the overview part of it, and it's just some distinctions about just war theory, pacifism, and some helpful things that I've kind of gathered together in relation to the prompts. And so you'll see there's a little thing about pacifism on there from Richard Hayes, John Howard Yoder, Glenn Stassen, talking about the New Testament's emphasis on nonviolence, and then also what then happens when Constantine kind of baptizes Christianity with the Roman Empire. And so you have that. There's 4 different kinds of pacifism that you'll find in Ethics for a Brave New World, the article that I posted in last week. And the 4 different kinds are universal pacifism, where all violence is always wrong; Christian pacifism, where Christians cannot participate in killing or violence. There's private pacifism, so personal violence is always wrong, but a nation state can use violence to protect its citizens and to enact justice. And then anti-war pacifism, where a personal threat or personal violence is justified, but war is never justified. So there's those 4 kinds of pacifism, and I've listed them there. And then for those of you that, like, in Cahill, she doesn't say, hey, here are all the criteria for just war. She kind of gives us little snapshots of that in different places in her book. And so what I've tried to do is try to gather them together for you and from different locations and give you just a list of the criteria. And I have an example of a kind of an explanation of soft just war theory and hard just war theory from the Gushy article that I posted. And then I have the criteria for just war. And so in there you'll see just ad bellum, that is the criteria for just war theory, that's going into war. Justice in bello is the criteria when you're in war, how to fight a just war. And then just post bellum, and this is justice after war. And you'll find in a lot of Christian books on just war theory that you don't see a lot talking about justice after war. And so this is a really important point, and it comes from Michael Walzer's book, Just and Unjust Wars. And I'd like you to include this criteria in your essay as well. So there's 3 broad categories, that is before war, in war, and after war. And then each category has a few subcategories inside of them. So you can take a look at that and see that list and how they kind of take shape, and use that for your essay. So you have Ethics for a Brave New World, and it articulates criteria for just war theory. You have these brief notes that kind of outline some of these different things that I've asked about in the essay. Then you have David Gushy's article on hard just war theory and soft just war theory. And then you have Cahill's book as resources for your essay. And then, of course, the last question is, how does Cahill's book differ from Interfaith Just Peacemaking in their emphasis on arguing for peace building or peacemaking? And so, really, I'd like you to do some research and basically tell me what you know about what you've learned so far in the class. And then I've supplemented some of those readings with some with some things just to make it a little bit clearer for you all. This is theoretical for sure in the first half of the class, to kind of get some arguments on whether we can use violence, what kind of violence, in defense of justice, or whether that's prohibited as a Christian, and that's part of our distinctive witness. So, can we use violence in a certain kind of way as Christians, and that be a distinctive witness for us because we use it in a certain kind of way? That's Augustine's argument. Or are we committed to nonviolent resistance? And that's a critical witness, and that's kind of the Anabaptist, Quaker, Mennonite tradition. And so, yeah, I just want you to kind of wrestle with this. It's just another way of articulating it so that you get a little bit more. And then we're going to begin to move into talking about some practice and some practical things about peacemaking, both in international relations, but also in our personal context. Okay, so I hope you all have a great week. If you have questions, please feel free to email me. It's best to email me directly, and I get them quickly, and I can answer them. If you don't put them in the question category, because for some reason I'm not getting those right away. I'm not getting a direct message from Canvas that there's a question, so I have to check, and sometimes I don't see them right away. So yeah, it's best to just email me right away. I hope you enjoy it. Remember, you can take advantage of your midterm essay discussion groups. You don't have to. Some people work better on their own. Some people would like to ask questions or see if there's any resources available. So please take advantage of those if you want to, but you don't have to. Okay? Have a great week, and I look forward to reading your essays.